There are 15 kaiju in Kaiju number 8 with fortitude levels of 9 or higher, and while each one is a weapon of mass destruction on its own, a few of them are just built different. We're starting off with Kaiju number 12. Despite having the same fortitude level as Kaiju number 10, number 12 did everything better. Kaiju number 12 was far stronger than Kaiju number 10. I mean, it took the combined power of number 10 and Vice Captain Soshiro Hoshina to defeat this monster. But before we talk about how the fight went, let's talk about Kaiju number 12 itself. Kaiju number 12 was created as the final version of Kaiju number 10. The only purpose of its existence was to finish what number 10 couldn't. That is, to kill Soshiro Hoshina. While fighting Hoshina, it transformed his arms into two extremely sharp and strong blades. Because Hoshina was an expert at close-range combat, Kaiju number 12 did this to defeat Hoshina in his own game. And number 12 actually proved that it is better than Hoshina in dual blade form. After an intense fight, number 12 broke Hoshina's blades. This made Hoshina realize that he cannot defeat Kaiju number 12 with his dual blade form. So he decided to use the single blade style. But unlike Kaiju number 10, Kaiju number 12 was insanely good at adapting during the battle, which is why when Hoshina dominated Kaiju number 12 in single blade style and created a hole in its chest, Kaiju number 12 stopped using the dual blade form. It instead created a katana out of its own flesh and used the single blade style to send Hoshina flying towards the ground. You might think that it's not a big deal since Kaiju number 12 is supposed to be good with a sword, and while that's true, it's not the full picture. Kaiju number 12 literally copied Soshiro Hoshina's single blade style on the spot. Along with that, Kaiju number 12 had an immense strength that allowed him to destroy a large area with just a single swing of his sword. And just because Kaiju number 12 has brawls, doesn't mean it loses in the speed department. Despite having a huge body, Kaiju number 12 not only blocked every attack Hoshina threw at him, but also completely overwhelmed him. The reason it's crazy is that Hoshina is known for his fast attacks, and dominating Hoshina in speed just proves that number 12 was without a doubt the completed version of number 10. Along with insane speed and immense strength, there is one more aspect where Kaiju number 12 completely outshines number 10, and that's in his regeneration, because no matter how many times Hoshina chopped off its body parts, number 12 would always regrow them in an instant. Even after getting its core stabbed by Hoshina, number 12 didn't give up. Instead, it regrew its arm to attack Hoshina one last time. However, before number 12 could even swing its arm, its core broke into pieces and finally collapsed to the ground. Now, if you want to see something that has more speed than Kaiju number 12, then let's move on to number 2, where we have Kaiju number 15. Number 15 is a little different from the rest of the kaiju. However, before we go into what makes this kaiju unique, let's talk a little about the strength and speed feats it has shown. Because Kaiju number 15 was created to kill Kikoru Shinomiya, it had more than enough power to give Kikoru a tough time. With just a single kick, it completely crushed Kikoru's shield. That kick had so much momentum that it not only damaged Kikoru's lungs and ribs, but also made her fly through the building. Now, this wouldn't have been possible if Kaiju number 15 didn't have the speed to follow Kikoru. But you don't need to worry about that, because Kaiju number 15 not only evaded Kikoru's attack, but also caught up to her no matter where she went. Number 15 even taunted Kikoru for being slow. The reason it's insane is that Kikoru was equipped with Number's Weapon 4, which is the fastest weapon in the defense force. One more thing Kaiju number 15 can do is shoot powerful energy beams from her mouth. It can either shoot it in different directions to target multiple people at once, or it can also shoot as a single, powerful beam that can destroy an entire squad of defense force, while also creating a hole in the building along with that. Time to talk about the things that make Kaiju number 15 unique. For starters, she can change her shape to become human, which allows her to blend in with other humans. Later in this video, we'll talk about a kaiju which can basically do the same thing. However, there's a small difference, so keep watching for that. One more thing that makes Kaiju number 15 different from other kaiju is her mind manipulation. By touching its target with an energy beam, number 15 can connect with their brain and manipulate them in many different ways. With this ability, Kaiju number 15 can create a space where it can show the victims the painful parts of their life. It can do so by reading their memories. Number 15 then uses these memories to control its targets. After Kikoru sliced its head, Kaiju number 15 used this ability to completely turn the battle to her favor. Up until now, Kikoru was fighting to make her parents proud. The only reason Kikoru went through all this trouble of joining the defense force was just to earn their praise. Kaiju number 15 used this knowledge to control Kikoru. It reminded Kikoru that her parents are dead, so whatever she's doing at the moment is useless, as there's no way Kikoru can hear the praise from the dead. It immobilized Kikoru for a while, but before number 15 could make the attack, Kikoru was able to overcome the brainwashing and crush number 15's core. Next at number 3, we have Kaiju number 13. If you see a kaiju overtaking your car on the highway, don't panic, it's perfectly normal. Kaiju number 13 is just doing his morning jog. However, if you are from the defense force fighting this monster, then run, because Kaiju number 13 single-handedly destroyed the 1st Division with no injuries. Now, I know Narumi wasn't with the 1st Division when that happened, but still, it almost killed platoon leader Tachibana. And if Kafka hadn't joined the fight, then platoon leader Rin Shinonome would have faced the same fate as Tachibana. Kaiju number 13 has a fortitude level of 9, which is the same as Kaiju number 12. However, after running for a while and getting the workout pump you guys can only wish to have, Kaiju number 13's fortitude level increased to 9.2. And the best part? It got thick thighs. Thanks to these pumped thighs, Kaiju number 13 dashed in front of Kaiju number 8 as if it were the Flash. Even without these thick thighs, Kaiju number 13 not only tanked all the bullets Rin shot at it, but also appeared behind her instantly and caught her lacking. As for strength, a single punch from Kaiju number 13 sent platoon leader Rin flying into the air. And because that wasn't enough to knock Rin down, Kaiju number 13 smacked her so hard that Rin went straight through the bridge and cracked the ground. The next kaiju we have at number 4 is Kaiju number 2. Kaiju number 2 was the second kaiju to ever receive an ID number. This kaiju was full of pride, and it hated defeat so much that it kept fighting until its last breath. The destructive power of the previous 3 kaiju doesn't even compare to this monster, as Kaiju number 2 almost destroyed the whole Sapporo city in 1972. Kaiju number 2 did this with 2 types of attacks, Sonic Blast and Energy Blast. Kaiju number 2 would often increase his attack range by using powerful Sonic Blasts. As for the second type of attack, Kaiju number 2 can release a highly destructive Energy Blast from its mouth, which can also shock its target. What's crazy is that even after its death, Kaiju number 2 remained a monster. Its corpse was so powerful that after it was turned into a numbers weapon, Isao Shinomiya was the only one who could handle its powers. Number 2's corpse was turned into black armor and a pair of gauntlets, which allowed Isao to use every attack Kaiju number 2 could do. And yes, this also includes the attack by Kaiju number 2 to destroy Sapporo City. In his last battle against Kaiju number 9, another kaiju we'll talk about later in the video, Isao removed all the restrictions on his numbers weapon to unleash its full power. Now, it is not a recommended thing to do because doing so shortens the life of the user. However, what you get in return is the power of a Daikaiju in human form. What this means is that Isao basically became a monster whose fortitude level was over 8. This allowed Isao to use the same attack that number 2 used to destroy Sapporo City not once, but twice. And while the first attack was blocked by Kaiju number 9, the second attack went straight through its body and completely destroyed a huge building. And if you think this kaiju was the strongest one, then let me tell you about the kaiju who is known as the king of kaiju. At number 5, we have Kaiju number 6. This monster has a fortitude level of 9.6, which is the second highest fortitude level ever recorded. However, the reason it's considered the king of kaiju is not only because of its fortitude level, but also because of the destruction it caused in Odawara. This kaiju didn't attack solo. Nope, instead, it came with its squad of multiple Hanju. The fortitude of Hanju is usually above 6, and if you're facing a Hanju with a fortitude level of 6.4, then you can only beat it if you are with your squad. And in case you're not with your squad, then you better be a vice captain, because anything less than that and you would be throwing your life away. Before we talk in depth about Kaiju number 6, let's discuss a bit about the destruction it caused. Hanju weren't the only thing that came with Kaiju number 6, because its mere presence on the battlefield brought a huge snowstorm in Odawara City. The reason number 6 can do that is thanks to its ability to create and control ice, which is more noticeable after its corpse was turned into a numbers weapon. Both of these disasters monsters combined kill 200 soldiers and 3 captains, which also included Kikoru's mom, Hikari Shinomiya. Now, that was when number 6 was alive, but even after its death, Kaiju number 6 remained a menace. When it was turned into a numbers weapon, there was not a single Defense Force soldier who could control its powers. As a result, it was abandoned in cold storage for 10 whole years, until the Defense Force finally found a suitable candidate for numbers weapon 6. In chapter 58, Soshida Hoshino mentions that Rino Ichikawa has shown some signs of compatibility with numbers weapon 6, but just because Rino was compatible with numbers weapon 6, it didn't mean everything would go smoothly. Despite being a numbers weapon, the power it had was so intense that it knocked Rino unconscious during the compatibility test. Not to mention that Rino wasn't even wearing the full suit in that test. However, 4th Division Captain Jugo Ogata gave him a month to control the powers of numbers weapon 6, and after a month of trying hard, Rino was able to use the ice powers of Kaiju number 6. In a month, Rino not only became able to hold his own in the full suit, but he was also able to use the freezing abilities of Kaiju number 6 during the test. By releasing ice from his feet, Rino was able to stabilize his footing on a tree. After that, Rino started aura farming in that suit. He immobilized a Hanju by simply touching it. And as for a Yoju, Rino was able to one-shot it without any problem. I know this doesn't sound that impressive, since Yoju has even less fortitude levels than Hanju, but you have to remember that this was his first proper run with the suit. After he was given official permission to use the suit, Rino trained his skills to the next level and was able to freeze a huge crowd of Daikaiju in one single attack. That was the former King of Kaiju. Yes, former, because number 6 was surpassed by another Kaiju in both its power and its ability to control Kaiju. So let's move on to number 6, where we have Kaiju number 9. When number 9 fought the Defense Force for the first time, it had a fortitude level of 8.5. Now, it's quite low as compared to what we've seen so far. However, not only was this enough to almost kill Rino and Iharu, but number 9 was also able to tank 2 heavy blows from Kaiju number 8. Along with that, number 9 also has insane speed and reflexes that far surpass the Kaiju that came before number 9. With its insane reflexes, number 9 can dodge bullets without any problem. As for speed, it moves so fast that even Rino, the only rookie who dodged number 9's attacks, couldn't follow its movements. This insane speed also helps number 9 to get out of dangerous situations without getting noticed. And while this does make number 9 different from the rest of the Kaiju, the abilities I'm going to discuss now will show how number 9 is just built different. When number 9 fought Isao Shinomiya, you might have noticed something strange. Not only was it bulkier, but it was also very strong. I mean, number 9 itself was surprised at its growth after it punched Isao to the ground. But how did it get so strong? Because of metamorphosis. Thanks to this ability, Kaiju number 9 can shed its skin like a snake, which gives it a new, improved body that can easily tank the attacks of numbers weapon 2 at full release. Yes, number 9 tanked 2 of those devastating attacks. To tank the first blast, number 9 became a very thick ball and focused its entire body on defending that deadly attack. As for the second attack, it almost deleted number 9 from history. That attack destroyed everything but number 9's core. Number 9 itself accepted that its powered up body wasn't able to fully withstand this attack. However, it was enough to protect its core from getting destroyed. After that, all number 9 had to do was regenerate itself with its insane regeneration ability. And this wasn't the first time number 9 regenerated this fast. It did the exact same thing during his first interaction with Kaiju number 8. In chapter 18, Kaiju number 8 mopped the floor with number 9 and cooked number 9 so hard that its core was completely exposed out in the open. The only thing left was to destroy the core. However, right at that instant, the defense squad appeared in front of Kaiju number 8, which caused number 8 to lose focus for a second, and a moment was all number 9 needed, because in that one small moment, number 9 not only defended its core, but also managed to escape from Kaiju number 8. But number 9 cannot fulfill its goal of getting the Kaiju power back from the humans if it keeps exposing its core out in the open like that. To do that, number 9 needs something else, something that makes it combine the Kaiju powers to become one strong Kaiju. And guess what? Number 9 can do exactly that. Unlike other Kaiju we've discussed so far, number 9 is able to fuse with other Kaiju, whether it be simple Ant-type Yoju or powerful Daikaiju. And it doesn't matter if that Daikaiju became a numbers weapon, because Kaiju number 9 9 was able to fuse with Number's weapon 2. This not only gave Kaiju number 9 all the powers of Kaiju number 2, but it also caused number 2 to go back to its original Kaiju form, which was now being controlled by number 9. The crazy thing is, number 9 not only took in Kaiju number 2, but he also absorbed Isao Shinomiya. This allowed number 9 to learn everything about the Defense Force. And because Isao Shinomiya had perfected the squadron-style combat technique, number 9 also became an expert in it. Number 9 can also create duplicates of itself, which are just as strong as the original, and while that sounds crazy, it is nothing when compared to number 9's most cracked ability. Ever wonder how Kaiju from numbers 10 to 15 just popped out in a very short amount of time? Well, it's because number 9 created them. Yep, it created those identified Kaiju, which is crazy because identified Kaiju have a fortitude level of 9 or higher. It not only created those Kaiju and let them cause random destruction here and there, number 9 used those Kaiju to launch a planned attack on the Defense Corps and ordered them to attack different cities of Japan at once. But number 9 wasn't always this strong. It was smart, no doubt, but it used to hide itself from humans and lived a quiet life where it would hunt small animals like rabbits. However, one day, Kaiju number 9 managed to kill a human. This incident made number 9 realize that it is way stronger than humans. After that, it couldn't stop itself. In the quest to test the limits of its powers, number 9 decided to learn more about the secrets of the human world. During its quest, number 9 met a being that would change its whole life. Number 9 wandered into a cave where it came across the Daikaiju of Mereiki era. This monster was the cause of the greatest bloodbath of Kaiju slayers in history. It rampaged for 100 days and reduced the whole Kanto region and the majority of Edo to ashes. This Kaiju fused with number 9 on that day and hid inside its body, giving Kaiju number 9 more than enough powers to come to the top of the Kaiju world. And this whole time, Kaiju number 9 kept this Daikaiju contained in its body. But you cannot contain the Beast of Destruction for eternity, which is why when number 9's core got destroyed, the Mereiki Daikaiju finally got its chance to shine. It shocked everyone in the Defense Corps with its immeasurable fortitude level. Not only was Mereiki Daikaiju able to use every ability of Kaiju number 9, but it also did it better than number 9. Even though both of them are considered the strongest close combat fighters in the Defense Force, it was able to outclass Soshiro Hoshina and Gen Narumi in both speed and reflexes. It could also release energy blasts of Kaiju number 2, and again, it did those better than both Kaiju number 2 and Isao Shinomiya. Both of them were only able to shoot energy blasts in one straight path, but Mereiki Daikaiju, that monster could even change its trajectory. Another way Mereiki Daikaiju could attack its enemies was by manifesting shiny runes on the opponent's body. After that, all it had to do was blink its eyes, which would not only cause its target to get cut in half, but would also cause a huge explosion that'd blow its opponent away. And just like Kaiju number 15, the Daikaiju of the Mereiki era was capable of mentally controlling its opponent. This ability was so powerful that even Mina Ashiro, the captain of the 3rd Division, was unable to escape from its influence if her childhood friend Kafka Hibino wasn't there to help her. Along with all these overpowered abilities, Mereiki Daikaiju is also a necromancer. No, you didn't hear it wrong. This monster here revived all the dead Kaiju, including the identified Kaiju that gave a tough time to the captains of the Defense Corps. And this begs the question, how do you defeat something like this? By using the power of another Kaiju, we have, at number 7, Kaiju number 8. Imagine you're admitted to a hospital because of an incident that happened at your job site, and while you're recovering, a disgusting flying Kaiju invades your personal space way too much by going into your mouth and turns you into something like this. That's exactly what happened with our boy Kafka, aka Kaiju number 8. The mysterious Kaiju acted as a parasite in his body and completely changed his life. He always wanted to join the Defense Force, but now that dream seemed impossible. Despite that, Kafka decided to join the Defense Force while hiding his identity as a Kaiju. But things don't always go your way. Although he did pass the test, his identity as a Kaiju was eventually exposed in Chapter 32, where he had to turn into Kaiju to save the 3rd Division from Kaiju number 10's final attack. Kaiju number 10 created a giant Yoju bomb, which, if exploded, would have destroyed the whole 3rd Division base base, along with its officers. Kafka had no other choice. He transformed into a kaiju and punched the bomb high up in the air, giving the defense force enough time to fully activate their shields. Even though Kafka saved everyone, things went a little south for him after that incident. He was captured by the defense force and was supposed to be killed by the strongest soldier of the defense force, Isao Shinomiya. However, there was a chance. If Kafka proves to Isao that he's a human, it might be possible for him to escape his death sentence. But when Isao started punching Kafka to death, the kaiju in Kafka's body went out of control. The only thing on Kafka's mind after that was to kill Isao. After that, things went so bad that Kafka almost killed Isao. All Kafka had to do was hit Isao with one more punch. However, Kafka gained control over himself. At the very last moment, instead of punching Isao, Kafka punched himself in the chest, telling everyone that he's not a kaiju. Now, that did save him from getting killed by the defense corps. After seeing his kaiju powers, Isao decided that instead of making a weapon out of Kaiju No. 8's corpse, they should directly use its powers. I think it's time we talk about those powers. For starters, Kaiju No. 8 has a fortitude level of 9.8. Yup, it's the highest fortitude level we've seen so far in the series. It's because of this fortitude level that Kaiju was able to destroy a Hanju, or critically injure Kaiju No. 13 with just a single punch. And to make sure his punches pack more punch than before, Kafka learned the squadron-style combat technique from Soshiro Hoshina. But because Kaiju No. 9 also knew this fighting style, Soshiro Hoshina taught him the combat technique of the Hoshino family to defeat Kaiju No. 9. And it doesn't stop here. After going through a metamorphosis like Kaiju No. 9, Kafka literally became a different monster. It became so strong that the defense force wasn't able to measure its fortitude level. And when that happens, it basically means that a kaiju has a fortitude level of more than 10. Thanks to his new form, Kafka was able to send the Mareki Daikaiju flying through the air with just a single punch. It disrespected Mareki Daikaiju so bad that before punching the life out of it, Kafka told Mareki Daikaiju which building it would hit. His durability is also off the charts. Not only was he able to tank shots from Kaiju No. 9, but his pain resistance was so strong that even after getting slashed by Soshiro multiple times, he didn't feel any pain. As for speed, Kafka could evade Soshiro's extremely fast sword attacks without any problem. And by just transforming his legs into kaiju form, Kafka was able to run at speeds that even impressed Soshiro Hoshina. In his kaiju form, Kafka can even change his body parts to jet boosters to gain next levels of speed. And while fighting Soshiro Hoshina, Kafka was able to block his sword by changing his chest into a jaw. Unlike other kaiju, Kafka can sense if a kaiju is going to appear near him. Along with that, he can also determine what type of kaiju it is, provided he has encountered that kaiju before. However, out of all these abilities, Kafka's regeneration in his kaiju form is broken. Aside from the usual regeneration of body parts, like other kaiju, Kafka can instantly regrow his whole body from its core after he has removed it from his body. Along with having this broken regeneration, Kafka can disrupt the regeneration of other kaiju, which caused a lot of problems for Kaiju No. 9 during their first face-off.